Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to another Space City podcast episode. This is going to be episode number 46, doing a little wake and bake. I'm Mr. Space City. This is Mrs. Space City. Be sure to check out Mrs. Space City's channel on YouTube. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel. We also have growing content if you guys are interested at Official Space City Grows. And then, of course, the main channel, my channel, Space City Cannabis. Go and subscribe to that one if you're interested in flower reviews, how-tos, or smoke sessions, man. Shout out to everybody that is joining us this morning, and I hope you guys are having a great one.
Hello, what's up? Happy first of the month. It is officially August. Check out my big movie right here. Hell yeah, super excited. We're gonna go see our Spider-Man movie today.
We're gonna go watch Spider-Man.
Played some Magic last night. Killed it. He did so great. So yeah, so far really good weekend. I don't think we have anything really planned going on for tomorrow, so just gotta go hard 2 days and then rest. No, we go back to work on Sunday.
We got Ash on Sunday coming on.
Ash Hole Sunday, 4 p.m. Hopefully we'll stick around that time. It's a good time. I feel like it's like not too early, not too late. You have time to eat before or after.
Yeah.
Right, let me see who we have in the comments. I put, welcome in y'all. What's up? Happy first of the month. Kevin Brown says, oh hell yeah, you weren't lying about doing it in the morning. Good morning. I know we skipped a couple weeks. I feel like we've been off our schedule for our podcast, but we're trying to get back on it. Space City said, what's up, folks? Like and subscribe. All I ever see the guy.
Hat on me.
Folks! Hat on you, folks! He said, what's up, Durban? When do you sleep?
What's going on, Devin? What is the deal, fellas? We got Tony T says, salute smokers. What's up, Tony T? What is going on, man? Devin Brown says, I sleep in between the lives. Good answer. Deborah Brown says it's the first of the month with the Bone Thug song playing in the background. It's
Yep,
the first of the
they just
month.
posted that, yeah.
Come on. Get your ass up and get on.
They're like, hey, spark it up. That's the first one of the day, right?
We got Deborah Brown says it's 4 p.m. The official Ash Hole Sunday time slot. I like to run it at 4 o'clock, you know what I'm saying? 4 o'clock is a decent time for us. My wife gets home at about 3 o'clock, so, you know, just a little bit of a cushion, a little bit of a window there in between. And I think 4 o'clock is a good time. I think we've been running it at 4 o'clock. Sometimes I just like to run it early. Sometimes I run it like at noon or something.
And I miss it.
Yeah, just to get it out the way. And but for the most part, it has been at 4 o'clock, so it'll probably be at 4 o'clock tomorrow. So if you guys got some rosin, some flour, or a pre-rolled donut, go ahead and join us tomorrow on Ash Hole Sunday, guys. And Tony T says Durban is 4 p.m. in Sweden right now. And that's where we're at. All right, guys, let's go ahead and take this dab right here with the Carta Owner's Edition. Dry. I ain't put no water in it because it'll get all nasty if I do. If I never wash
These
it.
guys are really curious
Yeah,
about
that's
what you
Scooby.
do.
I don't know if you can see Scooby. Scooby's over here all in the. You ready? Ready, little dude? Yeah, just let it click and let's get it going, man. Let me know if you watched Spider-Man. Don't give me no spoilers or nothing, though. Let me know if you watched Spider-Man, what you thought of it. We're about to go watch it in a couple hours here. We got a showtime of 11 a.m. 11 a.m. Wanted to get in here real quick. I got some stuff coming in today as well. Cheers, guys.
Highly recommend the Cinemark. Is it Movie Rewards? Yeah, those Movie Rewards from Cinemark. Like $10 a month, you get a free ticket and excuse me, 20% off of concessions.
It's definitely worth it. And if you don't use the movie credit, it stacks up. So you have you can accumulate however many tickets you want. One time I didn't pay for anything, dude. I had like 4 movie credits stocked up. So I was good to go. This channel is now sponsored by Cinemark.com. Cinemark, give us a coupon code. Deborah Brown says living in the future and nice early showtime. So I want to have like a nice early showtime and go knock it out, grab a couple snacks, and grab lunch or something at a crib, and then just continue on with what we got going on here. I've got some stuff coming in. Hold on, let me play this up.
I like this stuff over here. Teddy already left it. There was only like a little spot over here. That's not enough room for my big head.
He's looking at you.
He's like, why you move me? I was doing just fine on your lap. He's like, why did I have to scoot over? He likes to sit right in the middle. He likes to be touching both of us. He don't like to just touch me. He's just like, give me a little bit of dad's warmth over here. He's always cold, just like me. Yeah, I'm excited for the movie. I like the 11 o'clock show times. I feel like the very first ones are just way too early. I don't crave popcorn like that early in the morning. But yeah, around like 11, it's like a little snack, and then go and get some food afterwards. There's some nice places to eat around ours too, so you know, get a snack or something afterwards. Okay, I'm really excited for this movie. I hope that I can like catch a lot of the Easter eggs because I feel like I always try to go back and watch like the breakdowns, and so I like seeing like how each movie leads into another. But I feel like they can be so complicated sometimes. So I like the Easter eggs where they point it out and they show you like this is from this, this is from this. But that's like a whole other movie after I watch the movie. So I need a lot of watch time for every Marvel movie or any kind of Avengers or anything coming out. I need to know the backstory of what's going on. Yeah. What about you? You think you're up to date? You think you like remember most of what's going on in this next coming one?
Oh yeah, I mean, yeah, definitely. Especially when we go back and rewatch some of these Spider-Man movies, Homecoming, Far From Home, Avengers Endgame, all those things. So I feel like I'm pretty confident. Plus, I'm a comic fan already, so I already kind of have like a gist of what's going on.
You like when it matches the comic a little bit more than just like if they go off and get a little too creative?
I like it when it matches the comic book, but I completely understand why the production companies or whoever's making the movies go a different route. Because it would be boring of going in and knowing exactly what's going to happen, right? It's like, man, I read the book, I read the comic book. There's movies that, you know, have that. And the reason for watching those is to see how the specific scenes in that book are being brought to life, right? So that's what makes it real cool. But with the comic books, for me, it's like I get it. I like when it touches the comic book or, you know, it references the source material. But I do understand why they go with a creative difference just to make sure that, you know, it is engaging, it's still exciting, and you still have that feeling of, damn, I didn't see that coming, right? So I get it. I like when it's just like the comic book, but not all the way. I like when it has like references to the comics.
Yeah, and I think that goes to like just making it more family friendly. Because from what I remember you describing about the comics, is that it was a lot more like gruesome, very much more like in detail, like the way that people got killed and stuff. So like I think that that's just something like you kind of have to naturally cut out for it to be appeasing to like all different ages too. So I can definitely see like how there's some differences with it. I don't know, I compare it to like Harry Potter. Like I wasn't one who read all the books, but everybody said the books were better. But I enjoy the movies. Like I didn't have to read the whole book to enjoy it. But it's a good storyline. I think overall, like it's just a really good story, and that's something like people are into. Like witches and wizards. I don't know. It's just a thing. Were you ever into Dungeons and Dragons? I feel like that was somebody asked you that, and like the whole table looked like they got super offended. And I was just like, it's okay, we're all nerds here, it's fine. There's levels to nerds. I will tell you when we cut it. Dungeons and Dragons is where you cut your nerd off. Oh man, I feel like this thing has been like really itchy on the throat every time we don't use the water. It's been like a little. I have to drink a little extra. I'm sensitive, so maybe it's just me. Where'd you leave off on the comments?
Yeah, nice and early showtime.
Oh yeah, Devin Brown said nice and early showtime. He said, I tried to watch Odyssey, but the bootleg version was like an old VHS, so I'll wait a little longer. We still need to go see the Odyssey. I feel like a lot of people have said it's really good. I don't know, maybe it's just me, but the storyline sounds kind of boring. But I'll go into it hopefully with a good mindset that it's gonna be a good movie. Devin Brown says I got an AC Infinity swag box coming in today that I won. Oh, that's cool. I'm not sure what's in it other than a t-shirt, but it will be cool to open it. Oh yeah. You gotta record that, show us a video of it. A swag box. Man, that's cool. I'm sure they have some like nice shirts and stuff that go with like that have their like little logo on it and stuff. That would be cool. It's still, free clothes. I'm not getting all that. Devin Brown says I haven't been to a movie in ages. Yeah, a lot of times like more people are comfortable at home. I feel like it's kind of scary going out, especially even to just a movie sometimes. So I feel that. He says, same here, Driven, I bootleg every day. Allegedly. Thurman said, I would only catch the real obvious stuff while watching those breakdowns, find so many things I would never pick up on. Amen. Because I'm like, I saw that, but I did not see it. You know what I mean? I seen it, but I didn't see it. And then Derba says, I never played any of those role-playing tabletop games as a kid, everything, played Magic. But I didn't even try till the Xbox or digital version came out. Is that the Blue Rinse or
the Buc-ee's?
Buc-ee's. Yeah, that Buc-ee's had like a big old chicken neck in it. That was really good. What was your favorite game as a kid? Did you have like an arcade game, a board game, like anything that was like your go-to that you were just like naturally, I want to play this? Or did you have favorites? I have favorites.
I think my favorite video game was probably Halo back in the days. And now they got the Halo Reimagined or Halo Evolved or whatever, so they remastered it. So I've been going back and playing it, and it's been pretty dope. And it just took me back to when we used to just like spend hours playing the co-op mode or hop online back with Halo 2, back when it was the golden age. Before we got into like Halo 3 and 4, where we started doing all different kinds of mechanics and getting away from what the game truly was in the beginning, which was just going out and shooting some people. So, but I think I'd have to say Halo 4 too.
I don't know, for some reason I thought of this one that I used to play, because I was trying to think of like one that wasn't an arcade or like something digital. So I used to play Mancala, which is like that little, like a wooden board that folds out like that, and then it has two like kind of like holes on the side, and then it has a bunch of holes like on each side like that, like in a line. And so basically like you just move the pebbles and you try to get all your pebbles into like, you can either win I think by clearing your side of the pebbles or like having the most pebbles. I think there's just like two different ways you can win or something like that. But yeah, basically I would play that and I could win the entire game in like 2 years. So it got kind of boring. And that's why I say I got phases of it, because like anytime I played something, it wasn't like sprinkled in here or there. Like I wanted to play and get really, really good at it and then move on to the next thing. So I feel like that's what I always did. It was like I played something really, really well, and then I would move on to whatever was next. And then every once in a while, I feel like I would dibble and dabble and come back. But for the most part, it was just in phases of like, I want to get really good at it. All right, cool. Let me learn the next thing and just kind of move on. What do you think? Is that your mentality back then? It was just like learning a bunch of different stuff, or was it just kind of whatever you came across?
For me, it was always just finding out about different things. One thing for me was whenever I had any questions, I didn't ask them. I just went out and found the answer. Because for me, it was just like the answer's out there. Like, it don't depend on somebody to give you the answer, or I understand that's a quick remedy, quick thing. I'm asking, like, hey, what's this? But for me, it kind of defeats the purpose of learning what it is you're actually asking about, and then following through with it, right? Is it something that you're really interested in, or is it something that, just kind of in the moment, you're like, oh, what's that, right? And for me, it's a little bit deeper going in and finding out the answer for yourself, just because you make that realization that, yeah, this is something that I'm really interested in. So you retain that information a little bit more, I feel, especially when you are passionate about it, like with the whole growing thing or the whole reviewing flower, things like that. For me, it's just something that I've been passionate about ever since I started smoking, and just carried it over into the growing aspect, allegedly, and the reviewing. So for me, I feel like it's cool just to go out and get the answer, because all the answers are out there. We have the internet, we have Google, and you can watch any kind of videos. So you can get the answer any which way, and the best part about it is you can interpret it however you want. So that's kind of
Yeah. Yeah, that's really who I was just like surrounded by. If somebody was playing something, that's how I got like learned stuff. It's just kind of what other people do, what I was exposing myself to.
Alrighty. Any thoughts?
Yep, right here. He said Mario Kart on the ones I don't go to school for 6 months. On the ones? Is that what that is? SNES?
The Super Nintendo.
Super
And the
Nintendo.
Super Nintendo, that's
I was
throwback.
like, what's that? On the ones? Super Nintendo. What's wrong with TV? He's just putting his hand on me like that. What's wrong? Yeah, I'm really excited for this movie. I mean, it's gonna be excellent.
Alright, guys, here we go. Cheers. And let me see. Tommy T says, Mrs. Space, you make me feel like a dinosaur. I think the mirror does that.
You're terrible. Because I'm trying to read it and I'm like, anytime people use like letters or acronyms or stuff, I never know what it is. And that's why I'm always like, what does this mean? What are they trying to say? But yeah, anytime people just use like the letters, it always throws me off. When I did, he said, Mrs. Space, did you make those monster cookies? I saw your post with the Oreos and stuff in them. Yes, so those monster cookies were true monsters. They had mini chocolate chips, white chocolate chips, regular chocolate chips, Oreo crumbles, Chips Ahoy crumbles, all mixed in with some blue food coloring. And then halfway through baking, I put the 2 little eyeballs and then the 2 pieces of cookie in it, and it came out so good. What were your thoughts on the cookie monster?
The cookie was good. I just took out the eyeballs. I don't really like candy on cookies or anything. But for the design, it's cool. I like that. I like when you added the white chocolate chips. I feel like that was the best feature, having the dark chocolate and the white chocolate with the Oreo and the Chips Ahoy. And it wasn't like a big old piece of Oreo and a big old piece of Chips Ahoy, so it's definitely bite-sized, which that's what I like. I don't like a whole bunch going on a cookie, so I like it just simple.
Yeah, I had to change it up because when I first did it, like the way that the girl does it that I watched, she puts like basically half the Oreo and half the Chips Ahoy. But my cookies aren't that big. They do like, some people do like 5 and 6 ounce cookies. Those are like humongous, like the New York style cookies, like gourmet, like looks like a cupcake. Like those are, for me, those are just too big. I don't enjoy cookies like that. Mine are like maybe 2 ounces, somewhere like a little smaller. But yeah, I don't know. I don't like those giant cookies. So I like to have just enough cookie where it's like you don't question if the middle is cooked or not. Like you can taste that it's cooked all the way through. And I feel like those gourmet cookies, like you can't cook them. Like every time they cut them open and they're showing like the inside, I'm like, bro, it's raw. Like it's super raw. It's hella raw.
Oh man, nothing worse than a raw cookie, man. Or one that's not cooked all the way
I
through.
don't like those. Like the super like chewy, like
Like I like my cookie a little bit crispy on the outside and then softer in the middle. Now I don't like a crunchy cookie. I don't think anybody likes a crunchy cookie, and nobody likes an undercooked cookie. So it's definitely hard to get it in that in between.
Oh, some people like the flat, like the thin crispy cookies. I don't like those.
Where it's like crispy on the outside and it's softer in the middle. I think that's where it's best for me. It's like, oh man, it's a little crispy on the outside and then soft in the middle.
There was like, that's me, I love. He said those looked awesome. I love those over the top cookies with fillings and stuff. I do to a point. Like it can't be overdone. It has to be like a good amount of filling to cookie dough like ratio. I feel like sometimes it's just like way too much going on that you're just like, this is way too sweet. Like I can't eat this. So I like them. I like them like stuffed a little bit of something, but just like enough, just a little bit. Yeah, he's like, I go to those local markets to get those giant gooey cookies. I love the doughy soft middles. No. But that's funny because like so many people buy them. Like they definitely sell, and like I guess people just like them. But no, like for me, it has to be something that I'm like I can just enjoy. That it's like a small treat. It doesn't feel like I guess heavy. Like to me, that's what it would feel like. It's just like too much cookie or too heavy on me. I want to and sit and enjoy like 5 or 6, not just like 1 or 2. Maybe that's what it is. It's the quantity. He said, I love doughy pizza dough too. Doughy pizza dough?
Doughy pizza dough? You mean like an airy crust? Is that what you're talking about?
I just like a light crust.
Like just a lot of dough.
Like the undercooked?
Yeah. Like it still stretches out.
Like it stretches out.
And then Durban Brown also says, I buy these stuffed Nutella ones that are amazing. Damn Nutella cookies.
Yeah. They freeze the Nutella and then stuff it in the cookie while it bakes.
Damn, Durban Brown says I buy them suckers for like $5 to $6 a piece.
Mm-hmm. They get me, yo.
Damn, $5 to $6 for a cookie. That's insane, dude. That's as much as a Starbucks drink, man. That's wild. Inflation's a motherfucker, huh?
No, that's about right. For cookies. Especially the big ones.
Got a nice little resin ring on that. I don't know if you guys were able to see that. It came out pretty good on it.
That's why I'm able to charge more, because even though mine are smaller, them being more like diet friendly makes them more expensive.
Durban Brown says doughy as in soft and chewy. He says, laugh about it is, I can't believe I pay it sometimes. Man, you can't laugh. John the Man said, yo, salute legends. I'm tuning in while I do my transplant. Yo, what's up? What's up, John the Man? He's doing this little transplant right now. That's what's up, man. What are you transplanting, dude? And how many are you transplanting? Tony T says, is that a shade of blue in your hair? I thought you were going to show up like a blonde girl. That's why I was on Space Day. He was getting himself a snowbody.
I thought you must have said.
All I said was she was coloring her hair, and Tony T ran with it.
Because I sent you the original
anything.
picture I sent you showed her lightening my hair, which would have been the blonde. But then you do the color after, because it's just to lighten the brown. But I was like, he must have said something about he saw the blonde, and then that's where he ran with it. He's like, I actually didn't say anything.
Yeah, I was like, I don't know where blonde came from. If you guys go back and watch that live stream, Tony T was talking about snow bunnies. I didn't
Wasn't
ask
there.
him, what is a snow bunny to you? Because I don't think it's the same thing. All right, let's not that get in here. Durban Brown says, yo, John, good luck. And Tony T says, Johnny getting a hair transplant. What is it about bald people that hate on everybody else's hair follicles and wish the same thing on them? I don't think John the Man's doing a hair transplant, my boy. Durban Brown says, I think I'm going to use solo cups next time. My first time I used 1 gallon fabric pots and it was a little rough to transplant. Brother, come on, man. That's why you see them in the solo cups, dude. Gotta make it easy for yourself, man. I get it. Like, I get the 1 gallons, you know what I'm saying? But if you look, most people just use the solo cup, man. Get a nice solid foundation in, transplant it into its final home, and you're done, dude. The transplant is super simple. Go ahead and grab your Great White, grab your soil mixture, and what I like to do is I throw the solo cup. I grab a solo cup and I throw it in there, and then I pack the soil in around it, just to make sure that that is nice and planted in there. And then I cover it up. Cover it up, cover up enough of the stem, just to make sure that it's fully submerged in there. And bam. I almost fill up the 3 gallon pots. I leave just a little bit at the top, but you can always do what you like. What do you think about the Joker mix?
Oh man, that one is just like taking off like crazy, and I could really see it when I started looking back at the shorts of like every posting it every single day. Like you can just see it, and I try to put it as like the picture, like in front, the thumbnail or whatever. So like as you scroll up, like you just see it like every day, just boom, 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 like getting bigger and bigger. So that one is just really taking off. We had to pop a couple extra. Y'all didn't see that because I keep moving them out of the way. So we don't show everything, but
Those are looking good too.
yeah, we put a couple more. But every time I film it, it's only those two because I'm like these are the original two. But yes, we do have a couple more Joker runs on the side that are just lush. They look so good. They're just like growing beautiful green. The seeds came off pretty easy. I think one of them I had to help it just a bit, but you could already see like that initial green leaf coming out. So it really didn't struggle too much. So really good, really good.
And now sometimes your seeds might need a little bit of help, man. Sometimes that little seedling is going to need help getting that shell off. But don't just worry about the shell. Don't just like take the little shell off and walk away. Sometimes there is a tiny little membrane on there. You got to get that off too, because that's going to prevent those first two leaves from sprouting open and allowing that plant to do its photosynthesis and make itself its food and all that stuff, guys. So make sure you're monitoring your plants. If it's able to get the shell off by itself, that's a great sign as well. And sometimes it does need a little bit of help, man. So go in there with some tweezers. I just use my fingers and pluck off the seed. And sometimes you'll see a little thin membrane. Just be very careful and just grab it, scrape it off, whatever you need to do. And then you'll see that the two little leaves just kind of open up like that, right? As soon as you get that membrane on, leave it alone. Step back, let it do its thing. Don't overwater either, guys. Don't overwater your seedlings. That is something that happens a lot of times, and those roots just stay soaked in there. Now, you up the possibility of mold in your root system, in your soil, so just keep that in mind. We water ours probably by like once every, we skip water, then there's like 2 days, and then we water again, then 3 days, and then we go back to that 2 days, and then 3 days. So that's how I've been really pretty much on the same schedule as the flowering. The flowering is on that Tuesday, Friday schedule, and they've been thriving, man. They've been looking really good. There's no nutrient burn on the tips. If you guys go and check out the Space City Grows channel, I've been posting those shorts on there, and just look how lush those things are looking, man. They're definitely liking the environment. They're liking everything that's going on so far, and we're transitioning into the middle of the third week of flower, and we're already seeing frost on just about every single one, guys, which is a great sign. Middle of week 3, we got frost. It's starting to smell funky in there, and we're seeing what we want to see, all things. I'm not seeing any males in there. I'm not seeing any sacks or anything, just little tiny hairs coming out. So all the pistils on all the plants are just shooting out as well, so I'm very excited for it. I mentioned the last time that I went in there and lollipop everything. I didn't do a heavy defoliation. I just took off the monster fan leaves that all of them had, and that was pretty much good enough. They've also burst through the trellis net, so I went ahead and kind of branched them out, pulled them to the side a little bit so they'll spread out a little bit more, and man, we're starting to have a nice canopy so far. I'm very excited, very excited. All the toad crosses are looking strong. They're already catching up to the Joker runs and the lemon cherry sherbet. The lemon cherry sherbet looks like it's getting going too. It's almost kind of Joker runs too. So they're looking really nice.
Yeah, it definitely looked a little bit behind for a little while.
Yeah, it definitely looked like it was missing something, but now it's caught on. And the funny thing is that I'm using tap water right now. I'm using tap water as their seedlings. On the occasion that I have the pH and filter water that I'm watering for the flowering tent, I might grab a water bottle for that and sprinkle it in there. But I really start pHing once I do that transplant into its final home. The first watering that I do after transplant is pH, just to make sure that that has a nice starting grid for it. The next watering is what we do with that recharge, just to get those microorganisms in there and making sure that the soil is kind of just pHing itself. And then just making sure that it's always pH between 5.5 and 6.5. I'm typically like right in the middle at 6.0, and that's what I'm using the water, guys. But yeah, let me know what you guys think.
Again, then we've been doing the updates. I usually update every day between 8 and 9 p.m. That's usually when we see like a lot more people are active. and it just reaches a bigger audience for us. So typically at night. So for Tony T, super early in the morning. What time would that be? 9 in the
8,
morning, like 6.
probably like 6 in the morning.
Yeah. So first thing in the morning, so we'll have that.
No, it's probably like 3 because if you upload it at 9, that's 3 hours to 12. 3 hours to 3, that's 6 hours. So about 4 a.m. for Tony T.
But yeah, we've been trying to make sure I upload that one, and then for the Toad Venom, that is only on the Instagram page, private Instagram page. So Miss Space City on IG, and then on my stories, and then I have a highlight reel for every week that you can see every single day. So that one too, that one's been really interesting to see it like every day to be able to like hit. It's been really cool.
All right, let me hop back into the comments here. Tony T says, I just assumed it was going to be blonde. Deborah Brown says, I saw people on YouTube saying 1 gallons were more forgiving for beginners with watering and stuff, so that's why I did that on my first runs. Damn, Deborah Brown, where'd you hear that from, man? Look, I tell people all the time, man, everybody's going to have something to say. Everybody's going to have an opinion or advice or something that they want to give you. Start off simple, man. Start off simple. The Solica method is tried and true. Start off simple. And the best thing I can tell anybody is just do a run. Just do a run. Take a couple of tidbits, you know what I'm saying? But just start simple, dude. Start with the basics. Get the basics down. And once you get that going, then you can transition into all these other things that everybody's talking about, the squad methods, the fucking LST, the low stress training, all of those kinds of things. You can start doing that after you've had like a couple of harvests done. Get it down first so you know what to look for. You know what deficiencies you're looking for. You know how the drying is going to be. You know how the harvesting is going to be. So just try it out, man, and don't overthink it. You know what I'm saying? Don't sit there and look at all kinds of things that could go wrong. Just watch the plant, man. Go in there, have a good time. The plants definitely get off of your, or feed off of your vibes, if that makes sense. So just go in there with the best intentions, man. And the best thing, or the best piece of advice that I can give you is just pH your water. Just pH your water, man. At least filter it. I'm not telling you gotta have an RO system, an expensive filtration system. I just use zero water, just making sure that I'm filtering out all those metals in there. And Homie Operation Annihilation says front load that calcium. Front load that calcium. If you're using those filters, the ROs, it definitely takes out all of those minerals.
Yeah.
And just have fun with it. Just have fun with it, man. Just give it a try. See what works, see what doesn't work, and then just go from there.
The only way you feel is if you don't start.
Deborah Brown says it's nerve-wracking trying to get one of those seed caps off. The seedling seems so fragile. Hell yeah, man. I remember the first time I tried it, I was terrified. Nowadays, I just go in there and pluck the motherfucker out. Just like with anything in life, brother, experience. Going through it repeatedly is what makes you comfortable in those situations, right? So for me, like, those are the things that I like to try, like the cloning. The cloning was something that we were super worried about. We were like overthinking it, and then we ended up cutting up like a bunch
Way
of
too many.
So,
Way too many.
which cloning is actually something we need to get back to. I didn't take any clones of the Jedi juice or the purple rose OG or the pineapple OG, but on this next run, I definitely want to get some cuts of that Joker runs for sure, and then the Toad Venom process. So, shout out to the homie Growing with Jay. If you guys haven't checked him out yet, be sure to go and check out his channel. As soon as I get those Toad Venoms looking good, I'm gonna go ahead and give some cuts and give it to the homie because he's blessed me in the past with a cut too. You know what I'm saying? So it's only right to show that love, especially with those Toad Venoms, man. It's Gorilla Glue number 4 times Toad Venom, and it is Zushi times Toad Venom. So I'm very excited to see what he's gonna do with that. John Man 35 says, or Tony T. Damn, look at Tony T. Dropping the links, man. Tony T says the Grow Channel. And the Grow Channel has been expanding, guys. We already smashed through 400 subscribers. I believe we're at 403. So be sure to go and check that out, share the channel, and recommend it to new growers. John Man says, not the heron and eye transplant. The blue Zushi seed I had, and she don't like it at all. And the dark romance is having a little trouble with sprouting up. Sheesh. Jonathan, man, what kind of soil are you running, man? And how much are you watering them? Because the dark romance for us performed really well, so. But it might have been the seed. Everybody, it always happens. It could be seed to seed, or it could be something that's either in the soil that it's not liking. I had seeds that sprouted out just a little bit, and it kind of just stopped right there. So it's not uncommon. It could again, just be the seed. And that's why sometimes we used to talk about 3 of each seed or each strain. But now that we're exploring, we've always been talking 1 or 2, something like that. But it can happen. It can happen. Johnny Man says, thanks, Reverend Brad. And Johnny Man says, she done drooped all the way down. Kind of scary. My last one didn't do all this, but I'm sure it'll bounce back. Gee. Those are the ups and downs of growing, man. All the different genetics, different strains like different things. Some are finicky, some are stronger. And that's why it always comes down to genetics, man. Getting from breeders that have tested their plants, that have done at least 4 or 5 runs with that genetic, just to make sure that it's withstanding mold, that it's withstanding pests, that it's able to uptake those nutrients easily. Because sometimes when they have a first run and they put it out, you don't know what you're going to get, dude. So let's hop back in here. Sheesh, you guys going in the chat, man. That's what's up. Growing with Jay, oh shit. Hey, we were just talking about you. Growing with Jay says, hey, Space City and Space City fan. Hope y'all have a good smoke today. What's up, Jay? What's going on, my boy? John the Man says, I also had to go in surgery with Dark Romance getting the shell out. Hey, sometimes you need to go in there, man. Daryl Brown says, my first 2 root balls totally fell apart. I supported the plants with mounds of dirt around the base, and they stiffened up real quick. It scared me. I thought they were goners when I seen them go limp. Damn, that is scary, dude. And, trust me, like, anytime you see that droop, you start to get worried. But 9 times out of 10, it's just thirsty. Give it some water, but don't flood it with water. Again, just look at your plants. You want them praying. You're looking out for those little burns on the tips, edges. If you see any of that, that's nutrient burn, man. Back up on your watering a little bit. Back up on the feeding, Just look out for things like that. Stretch it out a little bit, Allow the soil to dry up just a bit, and you'll have some good results.
Yeah, you'll definitely see it like day to day. If you check it day to day, because you can see the plants that we're posting every day. It looks different every day. You can see just a little bit of like different colors, different greens. So really, just keep an eye on it, and it's just being present, being in there, and checking on it, like I said, all the time.
I ain't gonna lie to you guys. Being a seedling in my tent is rough, dude. Because I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I put way more attention on the plants that are in flower than I do to the seedlings. In my mentality, if you can make it through these, 2 weeks without me checking on you, without me babysitting on you, of course I'm gonna water them, man. I'm not gonna just throw them in there and never water them. But if you can make it through that phase before the transplant, then you're pretty solid, man. Because most of my attention is gonna be with the flowering, because that's what takes up a lot of time. The seedlings is really just coming in, watering, making sure they don't have the shell still on or any of that membrane still on, and just making sure that they're either pointed up or they have some kind of support. Sometimes your seedlings are kind of going to the left. I'm not going to hold anything against you for that. So just add a little bit of support. We like to use a little ring on top of the gallons. That little tab that you take off, and you can just stick that in the soil, wrap it around the stem, and just give it that support. But you want to make sure that it is pointing up, so it's able to take that light instead of being bent, and only half of the seed is getting that light. So just a couple of little things to look out for. And again, don't overwater your seedlings. They don't need that water that much. Give them a little bit and let them go, man.
Yeah, you can definitely tell, I think, when they need it or when they need something, because you can see it right away. So I think the other day, that's what I told you, I was like, I don't know if it's the light maybe too close or something, but there's a little bit of yellow on 2 of the leaves. So I'm like, I don't know if it's just, maybe it is just the genetic, maybe it is that they just can't take it, because everything else seems good. But that's the only one that I was like kind of worried about, because I could see it starting, and I'm like, oh no, I don't see it going backwards or getting better. It seems like it's going in the same direction. So that's the only time I think I've looked at or mentioned something where I'm like, we might need to just like, I don't know, fan humidity. Like there's always something that it might need. Remember the one time that there was a dry spot too, which was crazy to find because everything looked the same except this one plant in this one spot was just not getting any kind of humidity. And you could just tell, like, after a few days, you're like, oh, dang, like, something is wrong with you, man.
So sometimes the yellow spot she was talking about was from water dropping down. So if anything was in the water and just dries up on the leaves, then it might leave some kind of residual. But the yellowing, the other yellowing is like a deficiency, one that you'll see in the leaves as opposed to just sitting on top of the leaves. So that also happens, so don't freak out. Don't freak out if you see something, or it could be in your humidifier or something like that. What you're looking for is like yellowing of the leaves. The bottom leaves are going to yellow first before they get up to the top, which is normal in your seedlings, especially if you're running solo cuts, because the top leaves are going to sprout out like crazy. So everything under there, closest to the base of your seedling, is not going to get any light. So what I like to do is at about 2 weeks, I go in there and I chop off all the bottom leaves and just leave the tops. So that way, when I go to transplant, it makes it a lot easier because I have enough stem to cover it with soil, as opposed to just having a little bit, and then having those roots come out when you're watering because you didn't have enough of a barrier there. So that's another thing that I like to do. I like to grow them up to a certain height. I clip off everything on the bottom. I leave probably the top 4 fan leaves or the top 2 nodes or whatever it is, and then just cut everything off and then transplant. And it's been pretty good.
Yeah, we're gonna get that on video when we transplant the Joker rose. It's gonna be coming up soon. So I think today we're gonna mix the soil, so maybe the update will have that also of like just kind of getting it ready so you guys can see what exactly we put into it.
Definitely. And go and check out the shorts, guys. I just posted one of the Pineapple OG with the dry amendments. You guys can take a look at it. It looks fantastic. It looks like it's loving the soil. It's loving the nutrients in there. It is a little bit behind the others, the grow nuts. And the reason for that is just going to be because we missed that 2-week window from when the nutrients are able to uptake into the plant. So it had a rough 2 weeks, man. It was going just off of hopes and dreams. And while everything else was getting those nutrients that they needed and getting that height and getting that growth. But as soon as those nutrients kicked in, which you could tell because, there was some yellowing that was starting to take place. And in the back of my mind, I was like, man, just give it some time. It's good. It's just needing the nutrients. It's 2 days left. But at about day 10, you could see that the green was starting to come back. Everything was starting to look lush. The stem was starting to turn a solid neon green. Started to pray. Everything was coming back. Then you started to see that growth. And then you notice that you do have that 10 to 14 day window of when that actually activates. So just keep that in mind. We're going to have to mix some soil up today just so that we can top dress that Pineapple OG, just because we are at that time where it needs that 2 weeks and then it activates. Because those dry amendments are only good for 30 days. So you're going to have to do a re-amendment or a top dressing just to get that last little bit, guys. And keep in mind, we're going to go lower on the all-purpose and we're going to go higher on the bloom, just because we are in the middle, coming up on the middle of flower, and we want that bloom to really take hold and get everything that it needs. So go and check that out, guys. Green, the dry amendments. Wear a mask when you're mixing that stuff if you don't want to breathe that in. And show me the results.
So would you, say you would do it for the 2 weeks and you said it's only for the 30 days. Mm-hmm. So 2 weeks before you're going to, pop it and plant it, right? And mix it. But then 2 weeks in, you mix your next one to transplant in 30 days? Or you only do the dry amendments once?
So you do the dry. So if you're transplanting, then you do it 2 weeks before, and then you leave it in there into the veg. And just keep in mind that if you're transplanting, are you throwing it into flower, or you're still going to veg it out? So if you have that soil mixed up in there, I would recommend just having a couple days, maybe 2 or 3 days, and then flipping it to flower. But whatever it is, just keep track of the time that you transplanted, the first watering, and 30 days from there. So once you get to about day 16, something like that, because some months have 31 days. And it does have that 14-day activation. So at day 16 is when you can start mixing up some more soil, some more dry amendments, and then adding it at that point in time. So, and the reason I say that is so that you don't have to keep re-amending. So if you're doing it at veg or through seedling, you know, you're still carrying it on for those 2, 3, or 4 weeks of veg or whatever you're doing. Then you're going to have to re-amend right at the beginning of flower and then a little bit later on too. So another thing you got to keep in mind is that window. You want those nutrients to start fading out. You want that flush to start to take effect. You don't want to go over to where the plant is still taking nutrients at day 64, day 65, and you haven't flushed them out. So just keep that in mind as well. And there's a lot of things that go into growing. There's a lot of factors, a lot of things to consider, a lot of things to keep in mind. And that's why I tell you guys, keep it simple, man. Keep it simple before you start getting complex and complicated. Just get the basics down. Just get the basics down and then progress from there. All right, let's hop back into the comments, man. Ronald J says, oh yeah, them bag transplants can be a little tough. And Durban Brown says it came back right away. And yep, I'm going with solar clips next time. Solar clips are effective, man. Ronald J says that, Tony T, I appreciate it. And I don't know why they had me shadow banned, I guess. Tony T says, Ronald J's channel is hard to find on YouTube. Sheesh. Hey, but you find it, Tony T. Durban Brown.
Notifications where it lists everybody who's subscribed.
Durban Brown says, also my soil was bone dry during transplant. I learned you need some moisture in there to keep it together. Sheesh. My soil was pretty dry when I transplanted, so I guess.
It's like the top kind of falls off, but most of it stays together.
Ground with Jay says, Durban Brown, that's what I do before the transfer, just to hold the soil together a little easier. Give it a little feeding, then transfer and feed again on the outside soil. Durban Brown, also keep in mind, don't water before you transplant. Don't water before you transplant. It's just messy. Just water after the transplant. But try it out, man. I've done both ways, and it is a lot easier. If it is dry, it won't smush, it won't plump up. Just keep it dry. And like I said, use that solar cup method. Drop the solar cup in there, pack the soil around it. Once everything is packed in, and don't pack it tight, just leave it nice and loose around it, and then just pull the cup out, and it's going to be the exact shape of your fucking root system right there. But before you drop it in, sprinkle that great white all around it. That root mycorrhizae, sprinkle that shit all around there, and then drop it in there too. Sprinkle some on the roots too, man. It ain't gonna hurt. And that's what's gonna get your fucking roots to start really growing, and they're gonna start expanding. I've seen a lot of people use like aeration pots, those pots with the bubbles all around it, which are cool. The fabric pots, I think, are very similar to that because they allow airflow to go through, and they allow like a free system where the roots are able to go through, and sometimes they even go through the fabric pots too. So.
It's like they're always reaching for water.
Mm-hmm. Especially if they're hungry. Let's see here. Durban Brown says, always planning 2 weeks ahead. Okay. That's only if you're working with dry amendments. If you're working with grow dots, those are always going to be present, and they're always going to uptake at every feeding. So the 2 week window is only if you're working with dry amendments. And it's even going to tell you on the bag, it takes 2 weeks to activate, so just plan accordingly. And don't trip. Don't trip if you start to see some yellowing on that plant. Sometimes you miss that window, so you're just trying to catch up at that point. But let it bounce back, man. Give it some water, give it some feedings, give it that recharge, and then just go from there, guys. And let me know if you guys use compost teas. I've been seeing that people are having great results using honey or molasses in there. I've seen that plenty of times in other people's compost teas. I've also seen people using marine life stuff like BioBiz or what was the other thing? It was like fish something. But the fish stuff, plant stuff, fish stuff. So very interesting.
Yeah, we did hear about that. I forgot what it was. It was fish something. It's like a specific part of the fish. Scale or something like that. Oh man. And then he said she found it because her face posted the link. She deserves it. Yeah, it's hard to find his channel. I don't know why. Like, if you search anything, you can search just Growing with Jay. You can type in like with the underscores and everything, and literally like does not come up. So because I'll subscribe to it, I keep just posting like that link directly to the channel. So we're gonna just keep posting.
Underscore J. So a lot of times you have to just put the username exactly how it says on there, growing underscore with, but the W on the with is lowercase. So make sure sure that it is lowercase underscore capital JAY, and it should pop up, but who knows, man? Who knows? Sometimes it might be shadow shit. My channel is Shadow Dance. So type in Space City Canvas on YouTube right quick and see if it pops up in there.
Yes.
Alright, let's stop there again. Durban Brown says I watered the day before with my 1 gallons the second time and it worked way better. I bet it's easier with the solos. I mean, you can water the day before, just don't water right before you transplant. I probably should have been a little bit more specific. Don't water it right before you transplant. You can water the day before for sure, and that way the next day the plant is going to be nice and healthy. It's going to be praying and everything. Just don't water like an hour before transplant or something like that, or a few hours before transplant, as it is going to make it a little bit messier to work with. And that's it. That's it. Durban Brown says, yeah, grow dots for me for now. Just the dots and recharge. And Durban, you've been having some fantastic results, man. I wish I would have started off with the grow dots instead of using the liquid nutrients, which kind of fucked everything up for me. After you've done a few harvests, you start to learn that those liquid nutrients, you got to start off with low amounts. You got to introduce it to the plant before using the specified dosage that is on the bottle. Which at first you think, man, I'm just follow the instructions and go from there, but you definitely want to start off real slow with your plants. Just kind of introduce it into the water. Make sure you guys are pHing after the liquid nutrients happen to add it. That way you're able to pH the water and get it good with the nutrients already in it. So again, for a beginner, it's a lot of moving parts. So it's a lot easier just to use the grow dots, follow the dosage on there, and you're able to go from veg all the way to flower. So it's really nice for beginner growers. And again, once you get those basics down, once you know what you're looking for, once you've had a few harvests, go and try out different nutrient lines. Go and try out the mycorrhizas, go and try out the crump juice or the monkey juice or whatever Connects Grows is using. Because if it's working for him, it's probably going to work for you. So, but again, just start off slow, man. Start off basics. I recommend the grow dots with the recharge. Durban Brown, your plants will look fantastic. You could have fooled me. I thought you were a experienced grower, well-seasoned grower. And how was that harvest going, by the way? Let's see here. Jason, that Durban Brown Haze solos, you usually just have to squeeze it on the cup a couple times and flip upside down and push down, and it should come out easy. Yes, sir. That's all I do, man, is just I work around, make sure it's all loose, so I just squeeze all around the cup. And by then, you can feel it just loosen up, and then you just turn it upside down, pull out the cup, and just, bam, you slide it right in there. And again, that's why I recommend putting that solo cup in as you're pouring in your soil. Pour in some soil, start off with the base, but as you start to climb, keep in mind the height that you want to have for your plant, right? So as soon as you get to the desired height, throw in that solo cup, pack in the soil around it, and then you can pull it out and throw it in there. Of course, with your grape white all sprinkled around there and shit, and then you can put it in there. So that definitely gives you a nice gauge of throwing that solo cup in there, and it's going to be a perfect fit every time. It's going to go straight in there, and you just kind of fill in a little bit of soil around it, but don't compact it, and then move on to the next one. Let's see here. Tony T says, need to search that boy Jay to find it. That's what it is, that boy Jay. That's probably what it is, man. And Growing with Jay says, at space, YouTube is extra as fuck. They want you to put my name with the at symbol in order for it to pop up. That's what I'm saying, man. Sometimes you gotta be very specific. I've been shadow banned before. You gotta put everything, the at, the everything, man. So it'll pop up just like that. Triple A says, in Costa, man, what up, everybody? Me and Pops on the water, drinking and chilling. Damn, that's what's up. Shout out to the homie Triple H, man. Out in Costa, man, drinking on the water. That must be badass. What you doing in here, man? Why you watching us, bro? Shout out to the homie Triple H, man. Bro, this Jedi juice is pineapple OG. Triple A. I'm not even gonna fuck with pineapple, bro. I'm not even gonna like pineapple, nothing. But this pineapple OG. Now you're going to have two options, man. You're going to have the Grow Dots option, and you're going to have the Guy Green Dry Amendments option. Go and check out the Grow channel if you want to see how that dry amendments is going up, man. I just posted a video on it. The stem is looking healthy as fuck. Plants are looking very nice. Massive families, like prehistoric sized families. So they're liking something that's going on.
Yeah, I think, and I wonder what it would look like if we did it 2 weeks earlier, but we're going to have to redo it. I think we're going to just have to, like, pick another batch or maybe dry mixes and that. And then I do remember as far as like those liquid nutrients, it's very specific in like what order you mix them in and making sure like X is diluted in Y before you add this one. So yeah, I think it's like super specific to how you add it too. So that's also like you said, like it's just too complicated. Like the very first strain we did wasn't just tap water like all the way. It was just like we didn't have nothing. It was just like let's see what this does. Yeah, just tap water. Like let's see what this does and then we'll adjust accordingly. But yeah, I thought it was really interesting just to start from there and then kind of everything that you've done to change it, even switching like to the grow dots is really big. Like I feel like that made a huge difference in the nutrients. So all these different changes that we were able to do, like it just takes time. It just takes time and practice and it's like
Lots of patience. And you also got to keep in mind, man, this whole process is like a 4 to 5 month process, man. So it's not anything fast. It definitely takes up a bunch of time. But hopefully the end result is something that you're looking forward to. And keep in mind, the growing, that's just half of it. The real process starts as soon as you chop. The environment that you're keeping it in, how you're drying out those plants. Did you chop down the outer fan leaves? Because if not, you're going to up the risk of mold by like 10 times, man. So your drying time is going to be way extended. If you're not chopping up all those fan leaves, if you're not putting it in the right environment, keep an eye on the humidity. Don't have huge humidity drops. You want to make sure that it is at least like 58%. At least, you know what I'm saying? The plant is going to be super moist when it gets into your dry tent or whatever environment you're going to be at. So the humidity is going to be exactly what you had it set at. So what I like to do is once I start coming to harvest, I like to drop the humidity in there. A lot of people say that flower should be at like 55% or something. That's ludicrous, man. I have my shit at 60, 68 in the beginning, then I'm dropping it down gradually. Right now we're at 66, coming up on the third week of flower. But once we start getting closer to harvest, it drops down to about 62 to 60%. So you want to make sure that the plant has that humidity all the way throughout. It likes that environment, it likes that humidity, as opposed to drying it out way too early. So just keep that in mind that whatever humidity you finish at, that's likely what it's going to be at. So if you're finishing off at a 62 or a 60, just keep in mind it's going to be at that, and make sure that it doesn't drop all the way down to like 48 or 52 or something, and it doesn't get over 75 or 80 degrees. 80 is great. 75 is pushing it, but 80, your shit's toast, man. Your shit will smell like hay. It ain't gonna smell too good, and all those terpenes are gonna be gone, man. And don't be afraid, even if you start doing all these things properly, when you first open that tank, you might get a little bit of that hay smell, but go touch the nug and then smell your fingers, and if you still get that same effect from when it was in the tent, then you're winning, man. So, because all that stuff is just the outer edges that dried up, so when you go in the trim, all of that terpene, all of that smell is just going to start busting through. So just keep that in mind, don't be discouraged. But of course, just make sure you're staying within that 70 to 74 degrees, and the humidity anywhere from 55 to 60%. At least that's what I would recommend. Let's see here. Durban Brown says must be nice. Durban Brown says when you mentioned the grow dots one day, that's what got me finally thinking I could pull it off. So far, so good. Hey man, I gotta say you've been having great results with it. And I ain't gonna lie to you, man. I'm gonna try it out first and see how it goes, and then we recommend it to somebody else. Right? Same thing like with the flower reviews. If it didn't work for me, I can't recommend it to anybody else. The grow dots are super effective. Some people like them, some people don't. But if you need to get a few harvests under your belt, just go with the grow dots, man. Get that confidence up. You know what I'm saying? Get that experience up in there, man. And then after you get that all down, then you can transition into different growing methods. So, but just get the basics out. Get the basics out.
I want to do hydroponic growing one day. Like that's what I really want to do. Is at some point be able to just transition out of soil and just do everything like with water in these bins. To figure out how to just do all the tubing and everything, and being able to like put the nutrients in and put it on like more of an auto system. So that we can just come in and like, trim or whatever we need to do before we leave. And not, constantly have to be mixing water and watering it. I think taking those out. I just want to see like if it's a big difference in the quality of the flower. I feel like at the end of the day it goes back to what you said, just genetics. It's a good genetic, but it's gonna grow and be good regardless. Let's see, but yeah, one day I really want to do a hydroponic grow.
All right, guys. All right, guys, we're at an hour here. We're going to go ahead and start signing off. Huge shout out to you guys for joining us this morning. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel. Subscribe to Mrs. Space City, also on YouTube. Subscribe to the Grow channel, official Space City Grows. Tony T dropped Triple H's channel for his future grow. I think he's going to start it when he comes back from Coastal Mail. I think he's out there checking out some genetics, allegedly. But we'll see when he comes back, man. Devin Brown says, how long till you start to notice the plants drying up in the tent? Do you pluck a nug and test it in a jar for humidity before the cure? So, Devin Brown, what I like to do is I like to wait till about day 7. At about day 7, I take out a bench, I cut off the nugs, and then I throw it in the Herbs Now dryer. So that is the one advantage of having the Herbs Now dryer is that you can finish off those last 3 days in a few hours. So at day 7, I'm taking a little bit, I'm throwing it in the Herbs Now dryer, and then I'm drying it out for a few hours. It usually takes, man, like 9-10 hours at that point, probably half a day. So I would start at night, I would go in at night, pluck off a piece, let it sit overnight, and then if you go to work, come back, and it should be ready to go. The test at that point is the grinder test. Throw it in the grinder. If it grinds easily, it's ready to smoke. If it's getting gunked up, if it's getting balled up as you're grinding it, it is way too wet. If it's too wet, that is the test that I run at 7 days, drying it out in the Herbs Now dryer, making sure it goes through the grinder. If it goes through the grinder just fine and you come out with a clean grinder, it's good to go ahead and test out, man. That means that there's not a ton of moisture in there. It's not anything getting locked up in the buds, so you're good to go at that point. Also, crack a nug open and take a camera in and just make sure that you don't have any mold in there, any spider mites or anything that might have developed in your tent. That's why it is essential to have airflow going through your tent. Have airflow, have an inline fan on, have the clip fan on, but don't have it facing the plants. Just have it in the corner just to have some air circulation going on that. So keep all those things in mind. And 7 days, Herbs Now, grinder check, and then you go ahead and test it out. And Devin Brown, did you harvest already? I don't know if I asked you that. But anyways, we'll find out on the next one, man, because we might do a live stream on the main channel. We got some dope stuff coming in. And we'll be sure to catch you guys on the next one. I'm Mr. Space City. This is Mrs. Space City. And we'll catch you guys on the next one. Yes.